So I'm going to be looking at sensation and intuition in this video, and I'm going to be looking at how it plays out with extroversion and introversion, and how these are joined together in the image of everything. So sensation is attention to the potentiality of a thing. Intuition is attention to the pattern of a thing. So reality exists as this joining of potential and pattern. A chair, for example, has a purpose and context, its pattern, which is joined with the raw material of wood and metal, and voila, you have a little incarnation of a chair. If someone is paying attention to a chair, their intuitive function is paying attention to this invisible pattern, whereas their sensing function is paying attention to the visible potential. These ideally join together so that a person perceives the fullness of the chair's pattern and its potential at the same time. So adding the definitions of extroversion as attention to multiplicity and introversion as attention to unity, we get the four functions, the four perception functions, often referred to as NE, NI, SE, SI. So introverted intuition is going to look at a variety of patterns and condense them into a single pattern. A really good example of this is the INFJ René Girard's theory of Memetic Desire. He takes the patterns he sees in Proust, Dostoevsky, and Stendhal, and he condenses them into this idea of Memetic Desire. This pattern then makes the potential of other texts really shine forth. You can experience this, like when I would read the Bible, a lot of the passages would at first appear like chaos to me, which is to say they were just all this potential that wasn't joined into anything. But then after reading Girard, after reading Things Hidden Since the Foundation of the World, a lot of the passages in the Bible that were just chaos before joined into one, and I could see it. I could see the meaning. So Girard has been criticized by some people for making literally everything in the Bible about mimetic desire. I think this is a fair criticism, and I think it has often been offered by extroverted intuitive types. Extroverted intuitive types move from the one pattern to the many. They want to see how patterns fill up the entire world. So it's like an extroverted intuitive type is interested in the maximum inclusive ability of a pattern. It feels that introverted intuition makes essential those things which can be shown by the introduction of a counterfactual to be only one side of the coin. In the context of Girard, Jonathan Peugeot, who I think is an extroverted intuitive type, said that his problem with most theories of sacrifice is that they can account for some of the pattern, but will always leave aspects unexplained. So as has become kind of a meme, Christ is both goats in the crucifixion, not just the scapegoat, as Girard's reading would have it. To sum up, intuition is that which gives meaning to phenomena. Extroverted intuition is attentive to how that meaning can account for everything. Analogy, multiple images that are never pinned down as the essential image, is how their cognition tends to present itself. Introverted intuition is attentive to a single deep and piercing pattern that reveals what had previously been hidden in the symbol. In the image of everything, one can think of extroverted intuition as a kind of circumambulation of the stars around the cross. Introverted intuition is more like a piercing straight toward the invisible center around which the stars turn. Extroverted sensing or extroverted sensation is attention to the multiplicity of potentiality. Introverted sensation is the attention to the unity of potentiality. So using the example of a chair as a particular instance and then as a category, we can see how this works. If we have a particular instance of a chair, extroverted sensing is attentive to the parts of the chair and is excited by any particular parts of the chair which are particularly noticeable, like its color, for example. Introverted sensing is attentive rather to the general gestalt, of the chair, how all the parts move into one chairness. If we abstract this and think of a chair as a category, extroverted sensing is going to be attentive to all the things which fill this category. Its focus is the entire extension of the category chair. Bar stools, thrones, toddler chairs, everything. For the introverted sensing type, the focus would be the highest version of the chair, the instance of a chair that is closest to its purpose, which is closest to offering itself up to its purpose. So, like, these are ideal chairs, like thrones or stuff like that. On the image of everything, extroverted sensing corresponds to a movement of attention down the mountain, whereas introverted sensing corresponds to a movement of attention up the mountain. So yeah, that's the basic pattern.